Okay, I believe we are live, yes. Well, again, not live. This is very much offline on my own computer recording. But anyway, welcome to Nairi Academy. This is another replay analysis, and if you want your replay analyzed, whatever, that's probably a word. You can send it to nairistarcraft@gmail.com, include the replay, your game plan, pure quick analysis of your gameplay. Please do not write an essay. I have only so much time, and also it's, well, I'm sure you don't have so much time either, so just let's say both our time. Include some what you were going for, basic game plan, what you think you could have done better, and why you think you may lost the game. Some brief, so I kind of know and understand how you are thinking in case there's some unclarity. So anyway, let's get on to this cast and analyzation. Again, we have FrostyRNS, the Terran player, who sent me a replay earlier on TvT this time. I don't really have much to say about the opening, to be honest. He said he was going for a Torsen style medivac push, and that's basically what he did. And since Torsen is like the best player and the best foreigner at the moment, and also has historically, ever since TSL, been very good build orders, I'm not gonna really say much about it. I will, however, say some words about supply blocking. Now, as you get better, the more you have to focus on your really small details and improve on those. So getting supply blocked is actually very bad, and that's something we should really be avoiding at all costs. And in this game we were supply blocked at 46, at 54, at 86, 164, 172 and 188. Combined, this was a 2.5 minutes of no production whatsoever. Of course, spread out over 20 minutes, but still something that's very easily avoidable, and we should actually avoid it when we can. As I said, this will be a TvT, so I'm gonna focus a lot about what's really the big things in TvT. Of course, you can win outright with a really good opener, but in general it's much more about positioning and maneuvering with your armies, trying to get a really good engagement and fighting at the right places. For instance, this is a really good fight because we just had our stim and combat shield and +1 finished, and he did not have stim, so nor did he have a +1, kind of a anti-timing for him. Now our follow-up, not a big fan of this. Whoa, I actually zoomed in a little bit. Anyway, not a big fan of this. Dropping, fine. Seeing this many marines, we should have pulled back immediately. But what I would have liked more is to kill this third, because, well, we do not need to win right now. This drop is kind of saying like, hey, I'm gonna win now. I don't have time to wait. Which is... it is possible, and you can try it, but do not overcommit. If you see too many forces, just pull back and try and get the third. Because if we had gone for the third, we have our third up soon, and he would have no third, so we would have been like miles and miles ahead. Even more so because we killed off his force. Well, let me speed up a little bit more. In TvT, I want to point out that scans are usually actually much more important than in any other matchup. You need to scan and see where his army is. Like here, the enemy scanned us and saw that we didn't have much force, so he just attacked us and he killed our force. Also, always siege up siege tanks when you're not moving. We are getting +2/+2. I really like this. It's a nice play. We try some drop play. I don't mind it. It's just we should be doing something else as well. As this drop play pulled all of this force, and we could have attacked into the natural or even into his third, and he would not have had any forces there to defend. So drops in general used to use as a distraction. Okay, so we have another big engagement, which we win like fairly easily, to be honest. Now from here on we go for a contain. Let me speed up a little bit. And well, the big thing about TvT is often it comes to tank versus tank battles. If we had pushed right here, we could have probably killed him, I think, but we didn't. It's a little bit hard to call because he has siege tanks, and in TvT again, siege tank wars are pretty common because we both have siege tanks, and siege tanks do not move very fast, especially not when in siege mode. So we usually have this kind of standstill situations for both players. Stand still. Okay, so here's what not to do. Very clearly explained. I'm even gonna back and see that we started off with 175 versus 150, and we end up with well, significantly lower than that. Basically, we were ahead by 20 supply. We still are ahead by 20 supply. Okay, but still, we lost a lot more than he did, to be honest. And also now we cannot attack him anywhere because we just have our siege tanks. Anyway, when we get this standstill situation, I just want to talk about siege tanks, siege tank pushing, because this is quite relevant in this game. If you want a siege tank push, you need to have one of three things. You need to have vision, and you need to have more vision than he has. So if we had 2 Vikings, we could kill all these off, and then we would have vision advantage. Then we can siege tank push. This can also be done by scans, but of course the enemy will also have scans, so we better make sure we have more scans. Or as a third option would be cloak banshees. And if we're lucky, we can kill off some. As you see here, he has now air advantage, so he can push us back. And we can't really do anything about it because we would either have to spend a ton of scans or like this, or just simply pull back. First option, have vision, air vision preferably, and most simple way is Vikings or perhaps cloak banshee. Anything that floats you can also use as vision. Anyway, let me get back to the second point. You can have way more units, that's one way. Then it's not really siege tank pushing because you're just moving up and you're basically trading blows. And well, that rarely happens, so not really often. And the third way of pushing is to nuke. I'm gonna just back up a little bit, because in this situation, right here, we could easily nuke push him. Basically we throw down a nuke, because nukes have longer range than siege tanks, force him to unsiege, then we unsiege, and then we move up just a little bit. And then we keep doing that until we hit his orbital command. And well, yeah, of course that doesn't really work as well in the middle of the map, but still. Cloak banshees work better in the middle of the map, because the enemy is not very likely to have turrets any nearby. If he's really close to his natural, he will just build turrets. Anyway, from this position, what I think we should have done, pull back to the Xelnaga tower is a good way to do it, because then we will also have vision. Again, very important in tank wars to have vision. Very self-explanatory, I know, but still. Option A, park 5 siege tanks in a line, force him to not come down this ramp. Option B, go and kill the third, because if he moves out and tries to kill us, we will have our reinforcements waiting for him. And if he tries to, well, it basically forces him to try and move and intercept our attack. Now we did something that didn't really work at all. We went for the 4th base, because if we go for the 3rd, then his 4th base is also very vulnerable. Vulnerable. That's a word. You understand what I mean. But what we did now is we did a halfway. We killed this 4th base, which actually is not that important for him right now. But if we had gone for the 3rd, then if he had moved out, we could have moved in, and then we would have killed him in his natural. If he had tried to move here to defend it, we could just snuck in again back to the natural. Again, positioning, movement, and taking good fights. Here's another one which we did not take a very good fight. We lost a lot of units here, we lost a lot of units here. We were actually ahead by quite a big margin, but we basically lost it because we played... well, he outplayed us. He took good fights, he moved very well, and they positioned very well. Also this tank drop, yeah, this is what we should have done from the beginning, not hastily trying to force the planetary fortress to go down. We don't need to win right now, we just need to get a little bit ahead. Okay, so now basically the game is even, except we have a fourth base, but he has survived our attacks, and as you can see, army supply is pretty even. I'm not really gonna focus much on upgrades this game. It's yes, they are good to get upgrades, but not really how shall I put it, the winning move. Now here we went for something really weird. Whoa, my computer is lagging. Anyway, we went for this Thor Marine composition, not really sure I like it. I think Tank Marine is way better. Also we do a premature GG, and then we realized, hey, we don't have to do that, we are still in the game. Maybe the Thors are there to counter some kind of Viking, I don't know. Thors not very good in TvT. Marine tank is way more cost effective in pretty much any numbers. Thors are good if you go pure mech, but other than that. Okay, let's speed up once again. And well, so he tried to attack us and it didn't work, so he started to expand, and now he has a fourth base. So now we're pretty much just at a standstill. Except thankfully we have way better macros. We are again up 50 food almost. If you look at our unit composition, we will sadly see though that we have many Thors and he has pretty much only tank Marine, which again, I'm trying to illustrate and prove my point that Tank Marine is way better than Thor, Tank, Marauder, SCV. Just build Tank Marine, way more effective. Or just go pure mech or build Marine Marauder, but don't build Thors, really, unless you're going to counter some kind of air units on mass Viking play. Anyway, so he did the smart thing, which we should be doing, is denying expansions, because once we get past the third base, TvT, which is goes often, it's all about the expansions. And now we can see that we are basically back to even. His army was way more effective than ours. And even if we have superior production, we lost the base, and he actually traded very effectively against our army. So now he is in the advantage because he has he's up one base, because we have this base as a fourth now, and we take this as a fifth back again. I don't really have much to say about our play, but I just wanna watch this through. As we can see again, he goes with a very clear plan. Kill expansions. It's all about the expansions at this stage of the game. Expansions and of course upgrades, but since we both are at 3-3 or well, he isn't at 3-3 mech and we are not either, but still. This is a good move, we go for the expansion. Yes, trade expansion for expansion. I would say that this is fairly common actually, because we both have very mobile armies and it's not always so easy to see where the enemy's army is at. He should have really sent some units to kill this base off, but he didn't. Here's another mistake I think we make, is again we try to go for the main. Now where are the units gonna be coming from? From the main. He's gonna have way easier to reinforce. Also he goes Thor, I have no idea why. Thors can serve as some kind of great tanks, but do not make more than 2. 1 should even be sufficient, and you really should have the upgrades. Just don't make Thors, they're not that good. Only against some kind of mass Viking. And again, we go for the main, but he goes for the fourth base, and this time we're screwed, because now we have no more mining. This base is basically mined out, and this is our last force. And he still has one completely fully operational base, and he has a way bigger army than us, because he will kill off of the last piece of our army. So now that this game ends, let me go back to my coaching mode, whatever. What I think that FrostyRNS should be working on next is practice against the computer. The first 10 minutes you should have 0 supply blocks, should have should have continuous SCV production. This game we had pretty good SCV production, but it can be better, always can be better. So practice a few times against the computer, make sure you never get supply blocked in the first 10 minutes, because if you get supply blocked in the first 10 minutes, it's kinda bad if we have had no engagements. Also, we stopped producing SCVs as soon as we engaged with the enemy right here in the beginning of the game, okay? Second point, we had some idle SCVs for quite a while at certain points in this game. Now, I didn't show them when we watched through the game, but those idle SCVs are actually a very high priority. We should never have idle SCVs. More than 5 is like, gotta move them immediately. Do not do anything else. You gotta have your SCVs working. Or attacking, whatever. Have them do something. Having idle SCVs will do nothing for you. And once again, late game TvT or late game whatever, once you get past 3 bases, it's all about bases. Especially in TvT, it's all about who can keep their economy going for the longest. And so, focus on that. I think you could have done some more dropping. Also, by the way, slight note, these 2 missile turrets do not stop drops at all. I would totally drop this. I would sacrifice the medivac and kill it, kill a turret, and then next drop will be all the more effective. We could have gone right here in between. We could have gone for this base to drop. There were no turrets here. Also, we could probably have snuck by the bottom side as well, and probably the upper side, or maybe just sack 1 medivac, drop off 1-2 marines to take out the turrets. It's really annoying to have to rebuild. Other than that, we macroed well. We just